A very good afternoon to you all. Thank you for watching UBC Television. This is your weekly roundup news bulletin. The bulletin that brings you those stories that made headlines within the week. With me, Wadulo, Mark Arnold. We're also streaming live on YouTube under the name tag UBC TV Uganda, so do care to catch the news there if it is convenient for you. Now, to start off, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni made this week passed out a UPDF Combined Forces Warfare training at the Armored Brigade Training School, Karama. Addressing the graduates, Museveni urged them to avoid bad practices like alcoholism in order to be successful and serve the UPDF in their full potential. We have a detailed report.
The terrain model covers the general areas of Karama and Kabamba. It borders in the east Kiwawa Hill, in the north Kisinzili Hill.
Because they don't drive through until they have destroyed.
For this, still 20, that is Asia.
Get in our system the culture of a real revolutionary army. When I advise you, you listen and you implement. In order to eat properly, just eat, you need combined elements. So in the past, no, but only you must have water. Water to do what? To wash down the food. So what we have been training you, say, please, if food is very difficult to eat like that, how about eating the enemy? You should not try to kunyata enemy. Enemy needs combined package. And I can see, that's what we've been talking about this for a long time. When you hear that program issues are continuing, Karamoja, it is because they kunyata, the enemy. They just use soldiers to follow. Kufata nyayo, peke yake. Fata nyayo! For the graduates, the only thing you now need to be careful about is afia. Afia. You are doing very well. You are young people, but afia. And the dangerous things to afia are two. Pombe na mabibi au mabwana. These are the two dangers to afia.
Coletta as the best gunner. Next is...
For more news this week, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni defended Uganda's recent rating as a middle-level income country. Museveni says that Uganda's GDP per capita stands at $1,046, requiring Uganda to stay at that level for 3 years before official confirmation into a middle-income country. He was inaugurating the Public Policy Executive Oversight Forum, codenamed APEX.
That continuous investment is one of the avenues that will drive Uganda's economic agenda, is one fact that the country needs to embrace. This is one of the messages that the Fountain of Honor carried for vanguards of development gathered at Kololo ceremonial grounds. Museveni was here to inaugurate the Public Policy Executive Oversight Forum, APEX.
The primary monitors are really the Office of the Prime Minister, the Office of the Presidency, through this Minister of Ogwang.
In driving the country's development agenda, corruption remains one of the stumbling blocks. This unfortunately has affected investment, to which Museveni suggests a solution.
You see, the big problem are the business people also, and the investors. They think that if you don't bribe, you will not get, your plan will not go through. Don't do that. Those thieves have no power. NIM is the one with power. They only steal because we don't know. The moment we know, you will see.
Museveni lauds Office of the President for taking the role of economic monitoring a notch higher, aligning it with the APEX platform framework.
I think the problem was that this office of Ogwang was not being used fully. The people who were there, they were not. It's a very important ministry, but people were neglecting it. I don't know why. It's very powerful because you go, as long as you have got fuel, you drive, you have all the information in your data. There's a plan here for the health center city. Where is it? Very easy.
With this on course, Uganda will maintain its middle-income status, which he says the country has already attained.
The economy is growing. Our data about our country is that we are now at a GDP per capita of $1,046, and that is already in the middle income bracket. But we need to stay there for 3 more years or go up to be declared officially.
Earlier, State Minister for Economic Monitoring, Peter Ogwang, highlighted strides made in the 23 directives made by the President as at 31st December 2021.
So days for us to eat government money and don't account and don't follow up are over. I call upon you to commit to work for your government so that we can help our people achieve the desired goal of moving into a middle-income status.
All ministers agree that this is a step in the right direction, extending services closer to the people as well as steering economic development.
It has identified the challenges, it has made the recommendations. So let us really embrace it for us to improve on service delivery.
And I also entice other politicians, right from the LOC5 councillors and my fellow MPs, to make sure we do the work jointly. Cohesion is the way to go, and the value for money is what we must stress.
The message is outside there, that the people, the Ugandans, should not accept to bribe anybody who wants to give them any contract. So we need to work together with fellow citizens so that we fight corruption with this APEX platform.
The Public Policy Executive Oversight Forum APEX was inaugurated under the theme, Taking Leadership, Public Policy Management and Promotion of Good Governance Practices. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Furthermore, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni this week received and held discussions with the President of the Confederation of African Football, a South African billionaire businessman, Dr. Patrice Theopane Motsepe. Museveni said that the sports sector has been receiving trivial support because the economy had collapsed during the previous government. He says the concentration is now being put on infrastructure development. More details in this report.
Okay. So this is just it's a humble token,
like a flag.
It's a flag from the 54 football nations in Africa to our president, and to say thank you so much for your support. And you leave me here when I sit in the plane. I'll be thinking of the good words that you have done excellent work in the past, and there's even more to come to support football. We are so grateful.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is for you, Mr. President, and this is for our First Lady.
Thank you so much.
As her leadership in sports. So I'll hand it over to our Speaker, and thank you so much, Speaker, and the Deputy Speaker, and everybody else, the football fraternity here, for coming with us, President, to be with you. We are most grateful.
So we have been struggling with the issues of infrastructure, the issues of social services. We have not really supported sport. The only support we have given is peace.
Absolutely.
So with peace, this is how these fellows are coming up. They are coming up with minimum support. But once where we are going now, because the economy is growing but also transforming, you will see we shall really give support.
The Prime Minister Robin NABBANJA today chaired a meeting to receive feedback on the parish development model, recent mass sensitization exercise. The rollout of the 12-day mass sensitization on the 21st of June followed the PDM launch in Chibuku district by the President. The review meeting took place at the office of the Prime Minister in Kampala.
Following a cabinet directive to roll out mass sensitization on parish development model, regional teams headed by respective ministers were constituted to undertake this exercise. Today, the Prime Minister, Right Honorable Robin NABBANJA, received feedback from the recent parish development model mass sensitization exercise.
Now, it is only the President who has not moved around. I want us to see how we can zone so that the President can also take part in popularizing PTA. You know, he's our last, he's the senior coordinator, and we want him also to take part.
Overall, the parish development model received a lot of enthusiasm and overwhelming support across the country. However, in some cases, the parish development model was viewed as a political program, and yet it is purely an economic empowerment project.
The members of parliament own our projects. They don't see government, they see members of parliament, and they receive files. That's why you are seeing the number of LC files becoming members of parliament is very high, by the way, in this country. Why? Because of our program. They see the LC file. Government, where are you? They see government nowhere. But this time around, government was failed. Yes. That's a very good point.
The meeting recommended that the regional mass sensitization teams should continue playing a leading role to ensure successful implementation of this program. Political leaders were urged to speak with the same voice about parish development model to avoid sending mixed signals to the masses. There has been a debate about whether or not the 1 million shillings given per household would be enough.
If somebody says 1 million is not enough, that now means he's in the VIP tent, who are not supposed to get, or in VIP tent. And therefore, colleagues, if somebody says 1 million is not enough, that automatically disqualifies that person.
So I used to give them my experience, how I started, that for me, I didn't have any land. So I started by buying half an acre where we constructed our house, and we started with planting coffee, mixing it with banana plantations within that area, that is small plot. So I was giving them my experience, that in fact I was emphasizing that if we are to get out of poverty, if we are to sensitize our people to get out of poverty, we have to emphasize saving culture.
The exercise also healed conflicts existing amongst some political leaders. A cross-section of members of the opposition also attended the sensitization program.
They had sensitized the people, and the people, all of them, were really pleased by the government program. Soroti district is basically opposition, FDC. I informed our colleagues there, Honorable Mafavi Nandala and the other one. Though they didn't turn up, but their people embraced the overall program, and to us, that is what mattered most.
The meeting also recommended that regular mass sensitization should be encouraged to keep the candle burning, not only for the parish development model, but also other government development programs. The meeting was attended by the First Deputy Prime Minister, Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, a cross-section of ministers and members of parliament. Doreen Nasasera reporting for UBC News.
This meeting actually took place yesterday, the 16th of July, 2022. The COVID-19 task force this week met to review the status report and give guidance to the country on management of the pandemic. The task force recommended that the testing lab at Entebbe International Airport be closed, among other issues. Prime Minister NABBANJA chaired the meeting, which took place at the office of the Prime Minister in Kampala.
The COVID-19 task force sitting in Kampala has implored Ugandans to embrace vaccines and get booster shots for more effective control of the pandemic. The Ministry of Health is racing against time to ensure the remaining vaccines are consumed before the expiry date. A status report presented in the meeting indicated a marked fall in COVID-19 cases, signaling the containment of the pandemic.
I want to thank you for your efforts, because we are where we are because of your efforts. I want to thank the Ministry of Health for the resilience and the guidance you have given us and the President. And all of you honorable colleagues, I want us after COVID to focus on other sicknesses, on other diseases like malaria. After COVID, we need to refocus our energy and the efforts towards that and fight it the way we have fought COVID.
Other salient issues discussed included whether or not to close the COVID-19 testing laboratory at Entebbe International Airport. It was resolved that this laboratory be closed since testing at the airport before departure was no longer a requirement.
I want to thank all of you for the efforts in controlling the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, Right Honorable Prime Minister, we are not doing so badly because of the efforts that we have put in.
and the cases are not rising exponentially. At least the positivity rate has remained low. In spite of the fact that it started rising, it seems to be coming down. We shall hear from the incident commander. I want to thank you for your efforts. I have heard, I have followed you wherever you go, you talk about vaccination. Thank you very much. And I want to...
The meeting also agreed that there is need for increased sensitization and engagement with the population about COVID-19.
The answer to this is continuous sensitization so that our people are mobilized to go and get vaccinated.
The reason why we should increase vaccination is not only preventing illnesses, but also trying to prevent other variants coming on, so that we do not go back into where we were. And part of the problem we are having globally, not only in Uganda, the amount of tests we are doing is not optimal.
The report about money collected from the public to support COVID-19 management was deferred. The Minister for Finance, Matia Kasaija, said a comprehensive report will be provided at a later date. Kasaija also guided on what business should be done to recover from COVID-19 effects.
The impression I've seen is that we must be back where we were before. We shall get there, but we shall get there progressively. You know, it's like when you fall sick, they take you to hospital. Then you recover, but you don't recover fully. So there is a period of it is a recapitulation or something like that. You doctors, yes, please. For the small businesses, there is money that is in the bank waiting for them. For the medium and the large ones, there is money in Uganda Development Bank and other financial institutions. Farmers, there is a fund for you. PDM now also has come.
Much as the order to put on masks was lifted, the task force advised that public should continue putting them on until such a time when the country achieves the recommended 70% of people vaccinated.
Putting on masks is healthy. It has helped us to control flu. When you look around, people don't have flu. And it also protects us. But as you have said, the population dumped the masks long ago. It is us, the working class, who have the masks, but we are also in the age brackets that is the dangerous age brackets. We need to keep ourselves healthy. Try as much as possible to keep on your masks, and unless you are, of course, outside, and get boosted. We have booster doses for all of you. You can access it from KCCA near here, Makerere University Hospital, any hospital, whether Mulago, public, private, wherever you want to go.
Cases of side effects of COVID-19 vaccination and other claims that the vaccines were brought to control population growth have greatly affected vaccination uptake in the country.
Yes, over 800 households in East Iriri sub-county in the Park District, Karamoja sub-region this weekend received food following reports of famine in the region. According to the area resident district commissioner James Okori, each family will receive 25 kilograms of posho and 14 kilograms of beans. Other districts have also begun receiving food. By the end of the weekend, all vulnerable homes will have been covered.
Kilos, okay? So every household is going to take 25. So 25 of posho, and then for 12 kilograms of what?
People turned up in big numbers. However, the RDC found out that there were fewer bags of food than anticipated. However, sub-county leaders alleged that the food was reserved for persons with HIV/AIDS.
Clarification for that is that there is a group of vulnerable persons living with HIV/AIDS. So to avoid stigmatization, they thought that they should give them their food, keep their food different from the other persons in the community. So they decided to put this food aside. But for transparency, since we received 400 bags of portion and 200 of beans, we decided that all these should be put out to the people to see that we received 400 bags of portion and 200 bags of beans as we start, as we flag off the distribution. So we got all those bags back together, and that is why.
The distribution exercise was led by the Napaka District Resident Commissioner, James Okori, at Iriri Sub-County Headquarters.
Food in Napaka District has started off very well. The district received 400 bags of 50 kilos posho and 200 bags of 50 kilos beans. This is to be distributed in the 3 parishes of Iriri Sub-County. The one for Lotome is on the way. We expect it to arrive today. That is also going to be distributed. These were the most affected areas. We thank the Office of the Prime Minister, we thank the President for this particular intervention, and the community is very happy.
Okore explains that the vulnerable people like HIV positives, elderly, pregnant, and breastfeeding mothers were the most preferred.
That they cannot travel to this place, they have sent assistants who are known by the LC ones because they are from a village. So they have sent their assistants, their family members to pick the food on their behalf. And through the system that we have, the LC ones, we are going to go down door by door to confirm whether these households have actually received the food.
Okori adds that the food relief will sustain about 800 households in Iriri Sub-County.
Each family is going to receive 25 kilos. Each household is to receive 25 kilos of posho and 13 kilos of beans for the start. A sustainable program that the government has come up with, in that every month for the next 3 months there is going to be a distribution of such. So we are able to help our people till when their crops in the gardens come out, because as you also realize, we have had a very long dry spell that has affected the produce, the production of the people of Karamoja.
In Amdata district, 9 sub-counties have received food already. In other districts in Karamoja, food distribution will begin on Monday. Joseph Oko, Maureen Iga, UBC.
In other rather unfortunate news, it was a somber mood at the home of the late James Kakoza in Church Zone, KARAMOJA Parish in Kampala district this weekend after relatives and residents received the news of his murder. James Kakoza was allegedly killed by the unknown assailants who ran away while he was jogging along Ginger Road at dawn this Saturday.
Relatives and residents flocked to the home of the just killed James Kakoza, who has been a resident of Church Zone, KARAMOJA Parish in Kampala district. Residents described Councillor James Kakoza as a good leader.
He is not tribalistic. Via politics, he is a genuine man. He doesn't segregate being opposition, being an NRM.
Late Olivia, the widow to Councillor James Kakoza, narrated the daily physical exercise. Her husband used to work out every day.
N'ayambala n'agenda n'atuuka gy'atuuka n'ankubira essimu ng'alina byambuuza ne muddamu n'agenda naye essimu ezeeko okunkubirwa nga mulala yagikuba nga ngamba bamusse. Omuntu wa NRM oyo akoledde nnyo NRM myaka mingi, yadde nze mbadde mmaze naye emyaka 6 naye nga ye ku NRM afiirawo. Kale just tuba tusaba buyambi tebatulekerera kuba yabadde ye in fact ekyalo kyonna.
Some of the relatives, including James Kakoza's mother, whom we found at his residence, were also in tears.
Tubadde naye okuva mu buto bwe nga Kakoza ye mwana omwetowaze tayita ku muntu ne bwoba
abadde kyayimani ekyalo kyonna abadde kyayimani bonna abantu nga bayamba ono abadde mwana wange
After receiving the news about the death of James Kakoza, the Minister for Kampala, Mr. Kabanda, visited his home and gave condolence to relatives and friends.
So straight in whatever he does, because he was working with each and every person, despite of the party he believes in. So we've lost someone whom we cannot replace. As a government, as NRM party, we've lost a very important person. And I'm sorry for the party and KARAMOJA as a whole.
Earlier leaders and friends who visited James Kakoza's home had this to say.
It's very unfortunate, the cruel manner, the way he was killed or murdered. He was hit on the head, and I really condemn that.
This is because he has been very, very vigilant against thugs and thieves in the area of KARAMOJA.
We, however, appeal to the government, we appeal to the security agencies. We hope that since Mr. Kakoza has been murdered in a place which is a bit clear in town, we shall get a report, the police will be able to apprehend the culprit.
James Kakoza is survived by a wife, Light Kakoza, and 4 children. He will be buried at Mpongwe village in Gomba district on Monday. James Kakoza was an NRM leader and a cadre since 1986, and he has been a councillor LC3 for KARAMOJA parish. James Kakoza was murdered along Ginger Road Saturday morning as he was jogging. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Quite unfortunate, and may his soul rest in eternal peace. In more rather unfortunate news, Makerere University Council made this week also suspended guild elections that had been scheduled for this weekend on Friday. The university has also set up a committee to investigate the violence which climaxed into the loss of a life.
Makerere University Council, the topmost decision-making organ, has suspended the guild elections, which had been scheduled for this Friday following the death of a Ugandan Christian University student during the campaigns.
This took everybody surprised that an incident, a student election contest, can lead to a loss of life. It's very unfortunate. The loss of one young man is a loss too many. There is the committee, one of the things the committee is going to be looking into is finding out what did not go right. The police on its part is also, of course, investigating the criminal elements in this incident, and that path we leave for the police. But for us on the side of the university management, it will be more about how exactly can we ensure that future elections and the related student activities are better.
Among the resolutions that the University Council passed include the suspension of the caretaker government and all guild leadership structures, the ban on brigades and other unauthorized groups within the university, appoint a committee which will provide an interim report to the council, and ban physical guild elections at the university.
The council also resolved in number 8 that any individual established to have engaged in the violence and other cases of indiscipline be handled immediately following the established university disciplinary procedures. And finally, the council resolved to ban physical guild elections at the university, and that any future elections shall be virtual.
During the course of the day, there was heavy deployment of police and other sister security organs at the university, with a team of forensics at the scene of crime. Some of the students we talked to condemn this unfortunate incident.
We have all been told that he was an old boy of our candidate, and he had come to support him because they had been friends, and he had come at least to give a hand to him.
All the students' fraternity of Uganda for the loss of a great comrade in the struggle. This particular student was going to be a great resource to the country. We hope he would significantly add the development of Uganda.
It's hurting that as we try to advocate for leadership, we are seeing two camps colliding. But as NRM, we are advocating for unity, we are advocating for peace.
The Deputy Police Spokesperson, Kampala Metropolitan Area Luko Wesijire, said that police is still investigating the matter.
Fortunately, someone allegedly stabbed Watungura. So he later on whisked himself away to one of the halls called Sivira, where some of his colleagues got him from there and later on pushed him in an ambulance, a university ambulance, that rushed him to Makerere University Hospital, where he succumbed to the injuries he sustained. It was that the body was later on conveyed to Sitamochare Mulago, and investigations are ongoing.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
And now on a lighter note, the visiting American star Terrence Howard and his wife took time to admire Uganda's rich heritage. The king of TOORO, Oyonyimba Kabamba Iguru IV, was there to welcome the American star actor. The king, who was excited about the visit, asked Terrence to consider investing in the kingdom, as these details are going to share with us.
This last Friday evening, the visiting American actor Terrence Howard, led by the Agriculture Minister Frank Tumwebaze, paid a courtesy call to the TOORO kingdom. They were received by a delegation of the kingdom officials before meeting the king. The meeting discussions were majorly centered about the rich diversity of the kingdom.
Culture is very diverse in Africa and in Uganda, and TOORO in particular. So we feel we need as more brothers and sisters from the outside world to come and share the deep, unique culture that we have.
The kingdom, however, highlighted that through such visits of such personalities, opportunities like markets for local producers are rest assured.
TOORO, as beautiful it is, it needs involvement. And the people who involve TOORO is you and me. We can join our energy, we join our brains, and we build our kingdom.
Flanked by his wife, Agriculture Minister and others, the American actor informed the king about the essence of his maiden trip to the Pearl of Africa.
That I want to share with Africa, so that they are the very first. The technology that we were bringing was so that Africa would be first and would give to the world and have the opportunity to grow. That's what's been missing. We've always been the center of the world and became everyone's point. As far as we want to advance something, we'll bring somebody black into your sport. It's going to be advanced. You want your business to grow, bring someone of color into that place, and they're going to work extra hard. But we've never received the tools so that we can participate on the world stage, and that's what I want to talk about.
The Queen Mother hailed Terrence for tracing his origin.
You are not far from us, although you are American. But you're an African. Yes. And why can't you come back to Africa and build a beautiful country like Uganda and the power of Africa?
The king's message to the visitors was received by enthusiasm.
First of all, it's an honor to host a very influential person like you here in the Kingdom of TOORO and Uganda as a whole. I actually got to know of Mr. Terrence Howard through the series Empire. So when the word got out that you were here in Uganda, I was very, very much excited in meeting you and your dear wife. But it's an honor to have you here. We are into so many different projects here. Healthcare is on top there, education, tourism, agriculture, promoting, as well as also promoting and protecting our culture as well as the TOORO.
Earlier, the jury Terrence had joked about his name.
I don't know my name, so again, you come here and asking for a name.
The king later accorded him a rally as a pet name at a cultural ritual presided over by the king himself. His wife too received a award as a pet name by the king as well.
I have given you the pet name
In an interview shortly after the visit, Terrence reiterated his love for Uganda and investing in it.
And the potential of the children here. I see 3- and 4-year-old kids going down busy streets that I would be, if my kids wouldn't even know how to go up to the corner of it. And I'm like, wow, I've taken not given my children the opportunity to grow like the children of Africa, the children of Uganda, the children of the Kingdom of TOORO. I have not given them the opportunity to see the world and experience this, because this is what we need.
Minister Frank Tumwebaze equally notes that regardless of any public criticism, Uganda will continue welcoming such opportunities.
So when we get people who love our country coming here genuinely, organically, not hired, like Terrence Howard, just coming here out of love to explore our country, it's a great achievement for our country. And I really appeal to all Ugandans, irrespective of our small other differences, to be united by such things.
Robert Onyango and Sharon Chomugisha for UBC News.
Terrence Howard in Uganda. In other news, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni this weekend paid tribute to founders of St. Henry's College, Kitovu in Masaka City, saying they have shared the vision of the NRM to bring out socio-economic transformation. This was in the speech read for him by the Vice President, Major Jessica Alupo, who represented him at the school's centenary celebrations in Masaka City. He thanked the school leadership for churning out students of courage and influence.
This is the march past before Her Excellency the Vice President.
It was a centennial of celebrations with a joyous homecoming as old boys from over the years turned up to boost the school, marking 100 years from a humble beginning from 23 students to over 1,600 and a teaching staff of 150 down from 8 only. Hundreds of students and old boys from different years participated in the march parade organized by the UPDF. While officiating at the celebrations, President Yoweri Museveni, who was represented by Vice President Major Retired Jessica Alupo, commissioned 1.7 billion science laboratory and laid a foundation stone for the construction of the Centennial Education Center. In his remarks read after Holy Mass that was presided over by Matthias Sekamanya, the Bishop Emeritus of Lugasi Diocese, President Museveni said that with the success story of the school, he had no doubt that this school builds and grooms students ready to take the different challenges in the world.
The recognition for commitment to promotion of science, expansion of education, governance and security, including contribution to the East African integration and gender mainstreaming in education, is a record of our resolute passion and vision to see that our country surpasses other economies of the world.
The president also said that education should not only build the minds of the students, but also their hearts. He made a reference to the Paris Development Model, a Government of Uganda program which is geared to bringing more people into the money economy. The headmaster, Reverend Brother Augustine Mugabo, thanked the students and old boys for nurturing the seed planted by the white fathers 100 years ago. He noted the contribution of the government in construction of the 3-storied science lab, which he said would boost the teaching of sciences and innovation. The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education and Sports, Ms. Kate Lamoro, pledged more support to the school so that the teaching of sciences is continually affirmed as a government policy. The celebrations held under the theme, A Century of Bounteous Harvest, saw several speakers held the journey that makes St. Henry's College, Kitovu, one of the most sought colleges in the country. At the celebrations, a number of people were recognized, including Zawede Margaret, a secretary who has been at the school since 1977 and is still serving. Present at the function were the area members of parliament, political, religious and security leaders from the Greater Masaka region.
1-0.
Etole Ed Akenjo, UBC News.
Yes, and with that, we take a short commercial break. We'll be back with the weekly roundup business news. Yes.
Vimba ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals, out-of-this-world celebrations.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Go TV. Love it.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using to Gabonais. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175# or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
Getting a birth certificate is as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Get a birth notification record stamped by a medical officer from a medical facility where the baby was born, or from a sub-county chief if the birth occurred in the community. 2. Go to the NERA offices in your area and present the notification record, a copy of the parents' or guardian's national ID, and a bank payment slip of 5,000 shillings for citizens and $40 for non-citizens. 3. Apply by filing NERA Form 3 from NERA offices or download it from the NERA website www.nera.go.ug. A birth certificate will then be issued to you. Birth certificates to refugees born in Uganda are free of charge. This message is brought to you by NERA.
Princess! Is there a problem? Honey, relax. There'll be no more worries about SMSs, phone calls, sijui data, because Daddy has got an Airtel smart plan. There is even Airtel TV. It means no worries.
Enjoy life worry-free with Airtel Smart Plans. Shareable among 5 people. Use every day and pay.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC Weekly Roundup News edition of the Lunchtime News. We'll now take you into the world of business. Uganda Debt Network, in partnership with other civil society organizations and government, this week launched Uganda's Open Budget Survey 2021 at the Ministry of Finance in Kampala. The Open Budget Survey is an independent research instrument that assesses public access to central government budget information in 120 countries, of which Uganda is among. I was privileged to witness this release. Uganda has been awarded 58% for budget transparency, 19% for public participation, and 59% for budget oversight in the Open Budget Survey Uganda 2021.
The more the people participate, the more they own the budget, the more they pay the taxes, the more we develop. Bottom line, in a simple way. So the participation, of course, this participation in this report has been a bit low. The reason being because the 2 years which were being assessed, much of it were in COVID. So there was no these lockdowns and so forth. But even then, we are above the global average as a country.
Released biannually, the Open Budget Survey report assesses the online availability, timeliness and comprehensiveness of 8 key budget documents, which are the pre-budget statement, executive's budget proposal, enacted budget, citizens' budget, in-year reports, media review, year-end report and the audit report, in a bid to steer decisions that ensure government expenditure prioritizes public interests.
Not everybody can come in a meeting. There are representatives. And these representatives are supposed to carry people's views and ideas if they consult them. In my view, when one says very few people are involved, I may differ a bit.
With this, we sought the thoughts of people working in the informal sector to find out their views in regard to budget participation.
If they are planning for the people, I think we should be consulted first, either they get to know what we need so that they budget for us well. For example, the roads, hospitals, yeah.
Programs za government zowe ziri ate nungi waliwo program y'emyoga weri bamu aba boda abawulize tugiyingidde ate tugifunyeemu eyo government tugisiima ekoze bulungi naye kati kino ekiriwo aba boda ekyokubajjako emitwalo 6 emitwalo 10 15 ezisente ezo kyandibadde kirungi parliament eveeyo etulage zigenda ku account ya government oba zigenda ku account ndala. Sente ezo bwe zigenda ku account ya government era ne parliament n'ekitongoza n'ekitegeera nti zigenze ku account ya government ziba ziddayo okuyamba omuntu owa wansi n'okulaakulanya eggwanga.
Amasannyalaze ga bbeeyi, amazzi ga bbeeyi, buli kintu kyonna kyeyongerako okubeera nti kiri waggulu. Ffe ng'abamenyeka tumenyeka nnyo naye tufuna kitono. Kati budget nyinza okuba sikyagitegeera bulungi.
The only problem also, some people have not been used to this system. I have told you some time back, the Minister of Finance would go on TV or radio at around midnight and then starts reading the budget, including taxation. Then you say, these pronouncements are effective from tonight.
Since June 2019, the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development has been hosting an annual National Budget Month as part of its budget transparency initiatives that enable government interact with citizens on budget-related matters. It is on such a platform that the recommendations in the Open Budget Survey report are often noted. Wadulo, Arnold, UBC News in Kampala. Uganda's financial sector has been affected by the COVID-19 economic slowdown. The chairperson Bankers Association, Sarah Arapta, this week said that the situation has been exacerbated by the slowdown of economic activity, notably in the industry and service sectors. She made this observation ahead of the Bankers' 5th annual conference slated for the 25th to the 26th of this month. To focus on supporting the recovery and growth of manufacturing, agribusiness and tourism sectors.
The expected role of the financial sector is to ensure sustainable delivery of access to well-structured, competitive financial services for the manufacturers and related value chain to facilitate the much-needed capital formation. Talking about tourism and hospitality, Uganda has a unique and largely untapped tourism potential in form of ecotourism, bird life, cultural and heritage sites, contrasting sceneries, vast and diverse wildlife, name it. The sector is a key source of employment, government revenue, forex earnings. With some vitality in this sector, we could see huge capacities for experiencing transformative expansion and scale.
Economic pundits agree that the growth of the 3 carefully selected sectors will certainly spur increased profits for the banking sector, improve income for the laborers, and mobilize higher taxes for government. Narrowing the existing financial gaps is therefore critical.
The financial sector, like we always say, is like lifeblood that enables the flow of activity across the economy. and arising from the sheer importance of these two sectors and the related linkages, supporting them is critical. We cannot hide our heads that across the globe there is a challenge. There is a war going on, the energy prices are increasing. Globally, central banks, especially the one in America and the UK, they are raising interest rates. That means that even foreign money that would have come in, they get a better return outside, and that means they take that money outside. It can cause, if their international flows are not coming through, it can dry an economy. It means you internally, domestically, must step up economic activity.
Government continues to invest heavily on the industrialization agenda to be at par with its economic vision of 2040. The support from the private sector is therefore timely, fostering the worthwhile target. Well, I've been corrected that the word is exacerbated. Please pardon me for that mistake. In other news, State Minister for Works and Transport, Musa Echweru, has this weekend launched the National Information Technology Authority Uganda SOROTI Data Center branch, saying that internet use will improve efficiency and delivery in e-government services. According to Minister Echweru, internet access and its subsequent use will improve service delivery in Teso sub-region.
Vice President Major Jessica Alupo congratulated Nita Uganda for acquiring a modern facility that she referred to as a centralized system which coordinates the entire mechanism. In a message read by the State Minister for Works and Transport, Musa Francis Echweru, said with the installation of internet and CCTV cameras, it is going to be easy to arrest bad elements.
From now onward, the bad elements who may have wanted to take advantage of my unsuspecting people, now SOROTI is not their place. Anything that you try to do here will be able to pick you from here, connect you to the police, connect you to Naguru, and connect you to any place, and you'll be picked like any small thing and placed where you belong.
Minister Echweru, while launching free Wi-Fi at Soroti Central Market, commended the market leaders, saying the market was clean compared to other markets in the country.
The city which is clean, and that's why entering here and seeing my market slightly cleaner than Nakasero. I am very, very happy. I am very, very happy.
The Executive Director, Nita Uganda, Dr. Hatwib Mugasa, says they have connected to some government institutions which include Soroti Regional Referral Hospital, Soroti Central Market, Soroti District Local Government, Soroti Police Station, prisons, Soroti University, National Medical Stores, and NIRA, among others.
We have also done, Honorable Minister, we have put up a transmission site. A transmission site is like, if you look at energy, a dam, a power station, but a power station for internet, to spread high-speed internet in the whole of Tesori.
Dina Achipa, a market vendor at Soroti Central Market, shares a success story about using free internet in the market.
I just say, whenever we enter the market, by 6 we are in the market, we begin chatting, reading news through the internet. We don't buy again MBs. That's how we have benefited as market vendors.
Elias Eretu, a market vendor dealing with stationery at Soroti Central Market, expressed excitement, saying he is now able to do all his services using the free internet.
It simplified my work because I'm a stationery shop. Those who want to access their emails can come around and access them at zero cost.
The money we use for buying MBs nowadays, we budget for soap, food.
Well, that brings us to the end of our weekly roundup news edition of the Lunchtime News. Thank you for being a lovely audience. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold. However, do remember to stay tuned for more news in our subsequent bulletins. Have yourselves a lovely afternoon.
Water gives life. Water is life. But not all water is created equal.